10 p.m.
Now on News 6 and new at 10, whole apartment buildings condemned, families forced out, how their complex is trying to help them out.
Also new at 10, a big boost for SpaceX and the Space Coast. Wait till you hear the enormous number of launches they're now cleared to fly each year and why you'll hear more sonic booms. But we start tonight at 10 with a controversial comparison.
Every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery.
The state's outspoken Surgeon General declaring vaccine mandates for school children as being as wrong as slavery. He's vowing to get rid of every last one of them, but he's facing pushback.
He is promoting a policy of sickness and death. You throw out the vaccines, the vaccine requirements, and you're rolling back decades of progress.
So tonight we're asking why Joseph Ladapo feels ending vaccine mandates should be one of the state's top health priorities. Thanks for joining us. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Lisa Bell in for Ginger Gadsden. The state surgeon general cannot fully eliminate vaccine requirements all on his own. According to decades-old Florida law, children are required to have a number of vaccines before preschool, including for polio, measles, chickenpox, and hepatitis B. Boosters for those vaccines are required as children move into kindergarten through 12th grade, though parents can and increasingly do opt out by getting vaccine exemptions based on their religious or personal beliefs.
It appears there are at least 4 newer vaccines that are not a part of state law. Chickenpox, Hep B, HIB, and pneumococcal requirements can be lifted by the Surgeon General with the approval of his health department board, but many doctors are against ending those mandates. News 6 Orlando community correspondent is outside of Florida Department of Health in Orange County with both sides of that argument developing tonight at 11. Troy Campbell.
Florida Surgeon General says the Florida Department of Health will move forward with removing all vaccine mandates. I spoke to a doctor who says the decision could be deadly.
He is promoting a policy of sickness and death.
Do you think this policy could potentially kill children here in Florida?
I think this policy has the potential to kill children in Florida and anywhere you see vaccination rates drop.
CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder says Wednesday's announcement by Florida Surgeon General to eliminate vaccine mandates will affect Florida's most vulnerable.
You have some kids who really cannot get vaccinated. Maybe they have cancer or on chemotherapy. They have some other immunocompromising condition, and we protect them through the protection around them.
Gounder says despite medical evidence, the topic of vaccines is all too often a political issue.
Look, vaccine mandates are why we don't see polio in playgrounds and at the swimming pool or measles in classrooms anymore. And you throw out the vaccines, the vaccine requirements, and you're rolling back decades of progress.
Florida Surgeon General Dr. Joseph Ladapo announced Wednesday the decision to receive a vaccine should not be up to the government.
Every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery. Okay? Who am I as a government or anyone else, or who am I as a man standing here now to tell you what you should put in your body?
Currently in Florida, children are required to receive several vaccines, including for polio, measles, chickenpox, and hepatitis B. Kids then typically receive multiple boosters as they age. According to the Academy of Pediatrics, they recommend the RSV vaccine for babies under 18 months and several more for children over 6 months.
Who am I to tell you what your child should put in your body? I don't have that right. Your body is a gift from God. What you put into your body is because of your relationship with your body and your God.
Florida Congressman Maxwell Frost released a statement calling the move disgusting and adds, quote, "Kids will die." We've also reached out to the school districts in Central Florida, and so far we've heard from Marion, Sumter, and Volusia, who say they will all follow any directive from the state when it comes to vaccines. In Orlando, I'm your community correspondent, Troy Campbell, News 6.
And we have much more coverage, including statements from Central Florida school districts and the teachers union. Just click on this story at clickorlando.com or download the free News 6 mobile app.
Breaking now at 10 tonight, the fate of a couple 100,000 more Venezuelans appears up in the air. Late today, the White House moved to end temporary protected status, or TPS, for people who have, in many cases, lived here for years. TPS was last extended by President Biden. It is available to people whose home country has experienced a natural disaster, armed conflict, or other extraordinary event. Without it, Venezuelans can be deported. A spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security says in part, weighing public safety, national security, migration factors, immigration policy, economic considerations, and foreign policy, it's clear that allowing Venezuelan nationals to remain temporarily in the United States is not in America's best interest. The TPS protection ends September 10th for 256,000. If the courts do not step in. A court order is currently blocking the end of TPS for several 100,000 other Venezuelans.
New at 10 tonight, dozens of families at an Altamont Springs apartment complex are panicking, worried they will be left without a home. They received a letter from management telling them to get out by noon on Friday. News 6 reporter Jarrell Baker spoke with residents and property managers who say it's all due to construction ordered by the city.
Several living at Altamont Terrace in Altamont Springs were shocked, confused, and outraged Wednesday night.
It literally just happened no more than 2 hours
By
ago.
the time we found out the city was closing, Red Cross was closed, I mean, there was nobody to
We didn't know
contact.
anything until the cops and the city code and people were leaving here.
Tenants in buildings 3 and 6 received this letter Wednesday afternoon saying that they have to leave while construction is taking place per the city.
I'm a disabled 60-year-old woman with 2 daughters that work. One goes to school and a granddaughter who's only 7. We're going to be in the street now.
Many say they just paid rent and live on a fixed income.
I don't know anybody that could put together the money to pack up everything with children and all and be gone in 2 days.
A property manager told News 6 that they plan to move all the impacted tenants to the hotel in front of the property for a few weeks while they make repairs to the buildings. Then all the tenants can return home. But some residents are not convinced.
How you going to put all these people up? There ain't no way. I don't care how many apartments they say they got empty. They should have fixed what they had to fix when they had to fix it.
Several believe the buildings were closed or condemned due to roof damage, but property management did not explain why the repairs are happening. In Altamont Springs, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
Now, Jarrell's story comes as we follow up on another case of renters being forced out of their homes.
You might remember this. It's been 2 weeks since the city of Orlando condemned the Howard Johnson by Wyndham. Your Orlando community correspondent Mike Valenti caught up with one of those people still searching for a proper roof to put over his head.
Are you worried that you may be thrown out of this area?
We will be eventually, yeah.
Why do you say that?
We can only stay somewhere so long.
We first met Travis Weand last month as he and his partner Nicole were staring at an uncertain future. The place they had called home for the last 6 months was shutting down due to safety concerns. Travis thought he might have a job opportunity lined up at an extended stay in Cocoa Beach. It would mean they'd have a place to live, but that too fell through.
What did that feel like when they told you no?
Like everything came crashing down again. Like we knew we were going to lose everything again.
So with their 3 dogs, they made the trek back to Orlando and are now here in a parking lot with a tarp to keep their things dry.
How would you describe your situation to people watching?
Extremely desperate. I can't get a job, can't get a room. Well, I can't get a job because I don't have a room to get a shower to go to interviews.
Over the weekend, an ambulance rushed Nicole to the hospital. Her blood sugar spiked because she has no way of properly storing her insulin. She called Travis Wednesday.
Where will you go once you get out?
Right there with Travis.
She's going to end up going back.
Why do you think she's going to end up going back?
Same reasons. I can't keep her insulin cold. She can't take it.
Are you comfortable telling me how much money you have on you right now?
$3.
The little money he does make from donating plasma does not last long.
It goes to taking care of my boys. When my wife is here, it goes to her. Ever since the Howard Johnson closed, it all went downhill.
Today, the Howard Johnson sits empty, fenced off, preventing anyone from getting onto the property. Not that Travis would even want to. He says that he has a hard time even walking by this area.
You were saying it's too painful to go back?
Yeah,
Why is that?
it was our home.
You liked it there?
Yep, we did.
When we were at the Howard Johnson last month, we saw homeless service providers connecting with tenants to try to get them into other extended stays or shelters. But Travis and a handful of others told News 6 they had trouble getting the same help because their IDs do not show proof of Orange County residency. We wanted to get clarity on the criteria for this type of assistance, but an email to the Coalition for the Homeless of Central Florida was not returned as of Wednesday afternoon. I'm your Orlando community correspondent, Mike Valenti, News 6.
Well, it appears the future of space on the Space Coast includes a ton more launches. New at 10 tonight, SpaceX just got the okay from the FAA to more than double the number of launches it can carry out at the Cape. So expect many more Falcon 9 flights than ever before. Currently, they're approved for 50 flights a year from Launch Complex 40. Under the new ruling, that can jump to 120 a year. The FAA says that number of launches can be carried out without requiring a new environmental impact study. Currently, most landings are at sea. But the FAA says a new landing pad could also handle up to 34 landings back at the Cape each year, so you can expect more sonic booms from those. That 120 launches a year does not include launches at nearby Kennedy Space Center. A similar impact ruling could also boost the number of flights from Pad 39A. SpaceX is also seeking approval to launch its enormous new Starship rocket system here, too. No word when those rulings could come down. Well, some big news for women in one local county. Their closest maternity ward is shutting down.
The reason when News 6 at 10 continues, Jonathan.
A couple of downpours out there still right along the coast. Most of us are dry. I think we'll increase rain chances just a little bit tomorrow. We'll talk about that part of the forecast coming up at about 10:19.
Let's face it, sometimes you just get a craving, right? Still, it surprised no one when a 5-year-old wandered away from home and walked to a Chick-fil-A all by himself. I should say it surprised everyone how deputies were able to reunite him with his parents.
People are describing this intersection to me as very strange, even dangerous. The traffic signals have been bagged up, replaced by stop signs that appear temporary. What's going on? I'm finding out coming up.
You're watching News 6 at 10, live on a Wednesday night, covering Tavares, Windermere, and all of Central Florida. Now on News 6, if you're asking, what's the deal with all those stop signs in front of the Oviedo Mall, you are not alone.
So this is the three-way corner of Dovera Drive that feeds into Oviedo Mall Boulevard. And you asked us to check out this intersection that went from traffic signals to temporary stop signs.
That was almost a year ago. So what's going on? Oviedo community correspondent, News 6 anchor Eric Von Anken is getting answers.
The traffic signals are still there, but the lights are not. They're bagged. Instead, stop signs signal to stopping most of the time.
I don't know, nobody follows the stop sign, so everyone just cuts everyone off and, you know.
When are they going to put the traffic lights back up? Or when are they going to activate them? Just to make it more safe.
Well, I found out Oviedo is not going to be reactivating these lights. A city spokesperson tells me they discovered corrosion inside the posts, so they are now structurally unsound. And they did what they call here a signal warrant analysis and determined this intersection is what they call low flow. So the signals will come down and the stop signs will stay up permanently. The city of Oviedo first told people about the problem back in September. Then the city posted again about it in November and again in January, and each post got more comments than the last, 41 most recently. Most of them very critical of the three-way stop solution. Comments like this: I don't think this area has lower traffic flow. A lot of people go that way, and I think it's very dangerous to put up a stop sign.
It's been like this for a bit. You know, it's a high transit area.
But not high transit enough to put back the lights. They say they're only doing stop signs now.
I would disagree. Just hang out here for a few minutes and you'll see.
So we did. And even in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week, at times there were cars waiting at all three stop signs. Some people didn't wait and lost their patience. And watch. This driver ignored the stop sign entirely. The city has said drivers will eventually get used to stopping for the signs, and until then, the city placed orange cones and flags that used to be orange in the intersection. How long is this going to be like this? Well, the city didn't give me a specific time frame, only saying that right now their consultant is working on a construction plan to convert this once and for all from temporary to permanent. I'll stay on top of it as always, but for now, I'm your Oviedo community correspondent, Eric Von Anken, News 6.
Soon, expectant mothers will no longer have a labor and delivery unit at one hospital in Lake County. UF Health Leesburg Hospital says it is phasing out its labor and delivery services.
University of Florida Health made the announcement today, and the change takes effect on October 15th. The hospital says there are significantly fewer births at their facility compared with other regional centers. And there's a growing population of women over 55 who need things like cardiovascular care, orthopedics, and stroke care instead of a maternity ward.
So a spokesperson tells us while those services will shift to neighboring hospitals next month, its ER will still be able to stabilize patients in active labor or with an emergency. Meantime, Health First is showing off its plan to double the size of its hospital in Viera.
We told you yesterday the company approved building a second 5-story tower in Viera. The hospital was only built in 2011. But since Orlando Health shut down a hospital 10 miles away in Rockledge, other hospitals are seeing a big rush of additional patients.
There is no time frame yet on when Health First would build the second tower, but they are about to start building 20 new patient beds on the top floor of the existing tower. That work will take about a year and a half. Now to a good reminder to teach young kids important information like knowing their address, their parents' full names, and their phone numbers.
It made a big difference when a 5-year-old wandered off to a Chick-fil-A in Jacksonville.
You know where your house is, right, honey?
It's right across the street, right over there. Are you going to get me in jail?
No, I'm not going to put you in jail.
Are you going to put me in jail? How adorable is this kid? Jacksonville Sheriff's Office shared this video on social media. Staff gave him breakfast and they called 911. Deputies were able to get him home because he knew right where he lived. The 5-year-old told them he snuck out by slipping through the fence before his parents woke up.
Hey man, if I'm going to sneak out, Chick-fil-A is going to be top on my
Go
list
get you
of
some
places
chicken
to
minis. The parents say they walk to that Chick-fil-A together often, and they were surprised their son would sneak out. He's never done that before. Officers say the parents are not in trouble, And the little boy learned his lesson, though I think he had a blast. So
I
hopefully
think
he didn't
so.
too much fun.
Yeah, now that he knows where he can go and get a free breakfast, he may be back.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd
Yeah.
be sneaking out every day.
Exactly. No doubt about that. Guys, if you snuck out for dinner, most of us were dry all evening long. Pretty nice evening, although you can feel the humidity creep back up a little bit as that north wind is backing off. But we are also talking about the opportunity for just a few stray downpours right along the coast as we keep that breeze off the Atlantic. In Ormond Beach, we are the lucky ones or unlucky ones, depending upon how you look at it, to get the downpour tonight. It's a pretty decent, healthy one, too, just north of Holly Hill. You can track these downpours. Thankfully, no lightning associated with these tonight. With the News 6 weather app, of course, it is all free, and you can get the latest forecast involved in that as well. Here is a live look in Daytona Beach. Again, that downpour just up the road from the Skycam right here. Temperature is back to the upper 70s under a mainly cloudy sky. That breeze still off of the Atlantic at about 10 miles an hour. It's out of the northeast again, and that's helping to fuel some of these late night downpours. And again, they are few and far between and will stay that way when you wake up tomorrow morning. The real action is going to occur right along this front. We're still talking about it. It's stalled out through South Florida. So now all the active weather, or at least most of the active weather, going to pretty much ride this like a treadmill, and we'll see disturbances continue to work their way out of the Gulf through South Florida. So the heaviest rain over the next few days going to focus spread around Lake Okeechobee and points south. We will see a few scattered thunderstorms, downpours bubble up with the heating of the day over the next couple of days here, but you'll notice the lighter greens representing where it's going to be lighter rain chances, or at least lighter rainfall, and that really extends from I-4 through Port Orange back to Daytona through Flagler, Marion County, and where you see the darker oranges and yellows, that's where we start to get things a little heavier. But again, by and large, the heaviest over the next few days going to hold itself towards South Florida. Pinpointing that here, there's 6 o'clock in the morning and still running the risk, especially along the Volusia and Flagler coastline, to see a stray downpour on your commute in the morning tomorrow. So don't be surprised about that. Everywhere else should be on the dry side, though. 11 o'clock on your Thursday, we're looking pretty good, and then we start to fire things back up again. Highest opportunity for thunderstorms tomorrow will be if you kind of split the Florida Peninsula right down in half and then to the west of that. So Apopka, Orlando, Kissimmee, and then to the west. That'll be our best shot later on in tomorrow evening. Forecast for tomorrow going to get you back to the lower 90s. Rain chances up a smidge to about 40% tomorrow. Over the next 7 days, we're going to keep things right around that 40% shot again. I think the heaviest and most widespread rain over the next couple of days into the weekend going to focus on South Florida along the front. 92 tomorrow, 90 on Friday, 93 on Saturday. We're back to the middle 90s again on Sunday. Rain chances spike a little bit more as we get into the early to middle part of next work week, guys.
Jonathan, thank you. Well, are you looking for a new restaurant to try? Next, I'm going to take you inside a Michelin star place right in our own backyard on this week's I-4 Food Tour. It's next. There's so much going on in my mouth right now. This week on the I4 Food Tour, we're checking out our first Michelin-starred restaurant, brand new place called Omo by John.
But first, a shout out to our sponsor, Giant Recreation World. Thanks for making I4 Food Tour possible. What is a $200 a person Michelin star dining experience like? Well, we're going to show you. This is Omo by John, and your experience begins with champagne and snacks.
Chef?
All right, so.
What is this beautiful action going on in front of me right now?
So first and foremost here, we have a bao bun. It's filled with a little bit of braised pork trotter, as well as hanadako shiitake mushrooms.
Hold on, you said pork trotter?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, it's pig feet braised.
That's silly good. That's really, it's warm to the touch, it's soft, and it's so meaty and savory. Hope you got your shots, because that's gone, friends.
Next up is our take on a takoyaki. It's actually a vegetarian version, so it's filled with beer cheese and smoked daikon radish.
There's so much going on in my mouth right now. Which sounds terrible, but it's a good thing. Soft, and then the beer cheese just goes everywhere. Oh, that's fantastic. All right.
Crustade with Wagyu beef tartare, tosazu jelly, which is essentially a rice vinegar and dashi gel, and gampe seaweed.
Okay. All right, down the hatch. That one was very layered. Like I taste one thing, and then another thing hits. That's good. That's a lot to dissect. And difficult to explain. I have a hard job today. And this thing looks like a party here.
Essentially, it's a crispy shell made with rice flour that will be fried and then shaped. Resting inside of that is a bit of kanpachi, which has been diced, topped with basil and zucchini puree.
What are these little curly things? Do you make those?
Fresno chili curls. Can't buy this.
Okay. That was very sophisticated. And I'm so unsophisticated that I can't identify all the deliciousness that's going on in there.
Just gotta enjoy it.
I just want to have fun. That was good. That was amazing. That's just the start.
Sponsored by Giant Recreation World. Visit Giant Recreation World today.
Grab your tickets. In just over half an hour, your $1.4 billion Powerball numbers will be drawn. It is the fourth largest Powerball ever, and we will have it for you on News 6 at 11. Do you guys have tickets?
I don't. No.
Neither one of you?
I'm done with that.
Terrible.
I do. Yes. You can find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus.